Alright, so welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at doing this example. Now, one thing that is different from Inventor as opposed to Solidworks in this one is that Solidworks gives you two opportunities or two different ways how you can create a slot. Now, if you look at the Inventor video of me doing this, you're going to see that I put the slot actually in the sketch. So here in the Solidworks video, I'm going to make the slot an actual feature. All right, so that's going to be the difference between the two videos. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to SolidWorks and get started. Okay, so here in SolidWorks, what I'm going to do is select this new icon here, and then I will select the part and go to OK. And we're going to give SolidWorks a little bit of time to open up and start, getting set up for the video here. It should take about a half a second here, and looks like we're about ready to go. All right, now we're going to start off by creating a sketch. So I'll select the sketch icon here and then the sketch, and it's going to ask me which plane do I want to create this on. I'm going to start off on the front plane because that's what I'm going to create, is the front side of my drawing. Then I'll go ahead and use the line command here. Then let's go ahead and sketch out these lines. So I'm going to draw a line going straight across, going to here. And I'm just going to kind of recreate this shape kind of as roughly as I possibly can. And you can see I'm kind of not trying to, have everything all accurate right now. So I'll let the dimensions drive this one. Okay. Now we have our basic dimensions on. We're going to go ahead and put our longest dimension on here first. So we're going to go and specify here. And then this is going to have a dimension of, should be what, 100. Then we're going to place a dimension, let's see, on this side here. And this one is going to have a height. And we're going to set it equal to, let's see, 10. Because we're going to eventually come back and put a chamfer on this one. Okay, we're going to add another dimension from here, going all the way up to here. And this should have a dimension of 60. And then we need to calculate how far that radius goes across there. So it has a radius of 20, which tells me that basically this dimension here goes across, has to be a dimension of 40. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and put that radius part right on the top of here as well. So what I'm going to do with that is I'll just go ahead and select. Let's do the center point one. I think we did that one in the Inventor one. So I'm just going to go from this center. I'll go to this endpoint. And it looks like it kind of goes in a counterclockwise rotation. So let's go ahead and hit escape on this one. Let's do this one again. So let's go back to the center arc. Let's go ahead and place at this midpoint. And I'll start off at that endpoint. And yes, you can see as I'm going in a counterclockwise rotation, it will create it. So I'll stop at the other endpoint there. Let's go ahead and hit the escape button. And what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and select this line here. And then I'm going to make it a construction. And let's see if it does pick up on it. And it looks like it did not see that this radius here. Let's go ahead and add a couple more features here and see if it will pick it up. So I'm going to select here, and I'll hold down the shift button and select here. And let's see if it's going to give me any options. So it looks like everything here, and let's go ahead and make it tangent. And we have that going on that. Now I'm just trying to figure out why is it not picking up this center part here is what I'm kind of looking for. All right, and if it doesn't show up, then we'll do something else here, but we'll go ahead and see. Let me go ahead and finish off some of these other constraints. So I'm just going to go find, let's escape out of here. Let's go find the midpoint here on the bottom of this line. Let's do a left click there, hold down the shift button, and do a left click on here. And then we're going to make these vertical. Okay, let's hit escape. Let's go ahead and select this line, hold down the shift button and select this line here. And we're going to set these equal to each other. So I'll select here. Let's go ahead and escape again. We're going to select this line here. And I accidentally selected the midpoint there. Let's go ahead and select the line. Hold down the shift button and select this line. And we're going to set those two equal to each other. Okay. And we're looking for, let's see, another dimension here. And we have this all in line. Let's go ahead and set this height. So let's give me one more dimension from that line here to the center of here. And I'll go ahead and make this number 30. Okay. And now SolidWorks looks happy. So everything is filled in gray and it should be fully constrained. And you can see here at the bottom that it is telling me that it is fully defined. Let's go ahead and exit this sketch. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Features tab here. And then we're going to go and look at the Extrude Boss Base. Alright, so it's now defined our shape basically. Now we can kind of pull this out and see the distance of it. Let's go ahead and type in a distance. And this has a width of 50. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and start off by creating a sketch right along this face here. So let's go ahead and select that face. We're going to get this quick window here. I'll go ahead and put a sketch on it. We're going to use a rectangle command, just a regular two-corner rectangle. I'm going to select somewhere on this line, and then I'm going to come up and select somewhere along this line here. Let's escape out of that command and put a dimension of 15 on both of these sides. So I'll put a dimension from here to here, and that's going to have a distance of 15. And I'll do the exact same thing on the other side here. So let's go ahead and put a dimension from here to here. And that distance there should be 15 as well. Okay, so this should be fully defined now. Let's go ahead and finish this sketch. So we're going to exit out of it. Let's go ahead and rotate this thing a little bit sideways for us. Let's go ahead and use an extruded cut. Now remember that it has to be different. We can't use this one anymore because this will make solids. This is what we're going to use to take away from the solid, right? So we're going to use an extruded cut. It should automatically find that closed profile that we created. And give it a second here and it should pick it up. And we're just going to send this through all. So I'll select here. And it's already going the right direction. Let's go ahead and hit the OK button. Or in this case, just accept it. Alright, so now we have our cut going through our shape. Let's see, let's go ahead and do the chamfers on here next. So we're going to find the chamfer command is going to be located underneath the fillet. Once we invoke that command, we have to go ahead and tell it the distance that we're going to be using. And that distance will be set to 10. I'm going to select this edge here and that edge. Let's go ahead and hit the check mark here. Now, you see no preview on it. If you want to get a preview of it, you can do this partial one. And it'll start off on the first one that we selected. If I go full, it'll show both of them. But in this case, I'm just going to leave it at no preview. Go ahead and hit the accept button or the OK. And you can see that it puts those chamfers on there. Now we're ready to create that slot that's here in the middle. So remember that in the Inventor video, we created a sketch on that because inside of the hole command, there is no way to make a slot. But in here, I can go to the hole wizard here. And if you remember on that second row of the hole wizard, there is a slot option. And you're going to see this in, in other videos and things of that nature, but we do have slots, right? So if I just want a simple straight slot, I'm going to use this option here. Okay. Then I have to give it some information, right? So I have to tell it what kind of slot that I'm using. Let me just pull this down. Let's go ahead and take off this countersink. There's no need to have that on here anymore. And do I know it from the center to center, or do I know it from basically the tangent edge to tangent edge? I do know this one from the center to center. The length of our slot is going to be set to 30. And then this is asking me for the diameter of the slot. So remember that the radius is shown as 10. Therefore, the diameter here is going to be set to 20. Now I'm still using a custom size. That's why this box is checked. If I uncheck this, we can select it from the drop down. All right. So all of our information here is satisfied. Let's go ahead and select the positioning of it. So here at the positioning, the first thing I'm going to do is tell it that I want it on this face. And now it's saying, hey, where do you want to place this thing at? Right? So I'm just going to click somewhere here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some relations on it, right? So what I want to do is I want to hit the escape button first. I'm going to select this line. And then you're going to see I get some relations to go out of it. So I'm just going to select that line to make it vertical. Then I'll go ahead and select that center point here. Let's hold down the shift button and select this arc here. And then from the list, we're just going to make it concentric. Okay? If you take a look at this from the side, you're going to see that it is cutting all the way through. And that's one of the conditions that I had. I'm going to go ahead and hit close this dialog box. I'll go back and select type here again. And the reason that it's doing this is because I told it to go through all, right? And that's going to be that end condition here. So everything is satisfied now. I'll go ahead and hit the OK button. Then I'll hit the space bar here. And then let's go ahead and put it in an isometric view. And I think we have completed this. I don't see anything outstanding. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you kind of can see the differences. And this is kind of informative of how we do things in SolidWorks. So thank you for watching this and keep drafting.